Welcome into the live stream from McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal. That's Tyler.
What it is, sir?
How are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm good.
Got shout out to my guys at Horn Legend. I'm just Horn Legend out today.
Oh yeah, I see that.
How about that?
It looks good.
How about that?
It looks good.
I've gotten so many compliments on my jacket today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not a guy that goes and, I'm not a shopper.
Right.
So when it came in, my wife thought I ordered it, and she started complimenting me on my taste.
Well, you did kind of pick it, didn't you?
Kind of, not really. They said, "Hey, you need to pick one of these." Like, was it the jackets, right?
Yeah,
so it was
so
like
you
one of
picked
these.
one.
I did. I picked one.
Yeah.
I picked a same color scheme of, so I could go with my blues and my reds of my shirts that I got from there.
Right.
Hey, looking sharp. We got the Horn Legend polo coming out.
I see that.
Top.
Yeah. You look
Great jacket.
You
by
look
the way.
dapper.
Great jacket, by
Yeah.
the way. Cannot recommend it enough because it's light, but yet it's warm.
Oh. Yeah.
How about that?
How about that?
Great
Oh,
product.
you look good.
Yeah, shout out to all the folks at Horn Legend. Let's go.
All right.
Good stuff.
You about ready to get rolling?
Let's do it.
I actually remembered to hit the Instagram button this time.
Did you?
I did.
Shout out to all the folks on Instagram.
At the last minute, I remembered. But I did remember.
Yes, let's do it.
All right. Welcome into episode 339 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here on this Martin Luther King Day. It's Monday, January the 19th. Hope everyone had a great weekend. If you're having a holiday weekend, wrapping up a holiday weekend. I was actually listening to MLB Network on my way to the gym this morning, and they were I've been by it in Kansas City, the National Negro Baseball Museum.
Yeah.
Negro League Baseball Museum. I don't know the exact name of it, but it's a museum that honors the players from the Negro Leagues back in the 40s and 50s, and probably earlier than that. I've never been. I'd like to go, but they were the guy that is the curator of that museum was on MLB, and he was talking about Jackie Robinson, and it was absolutely fascinating.
Yeah,
it was. I mean, some really interesting stuff about Jackie Robinson, the player, when he played for the Kansas City Monarchs, and then some of his post-baseball political activities. It was really fascinating.
Yeah, I've never been either. I have been to the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, and they got a lot of it covered, but I've never been to that one.
I was going to go. I can't remember what happened. I was there one day, and I was going to go. I guess I was there for the NCAA tournament, or maybe I was there. Maybe it was this last time when I went for the soccer, the Copa Europa, Copa Americana, whatever it's called, in Kansas City, and it just didn't work from a timing standpoint. But I think we walked right past it.
Okay.
And it's supposedly really, really cool. It's on my list of things I'd like to go do one day.
Let's go.
All right. We'll dive into a show that is brought to you each and every episode by our friends at Rain Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams of natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Neal, I am rocking with the sour gummy worm today. How about that?
How about that?
I need a little. I feel great today.
Yeah.
I've made a dent. I've started to catch up on my sleep. But there's nothing like today. It's going to be a nice little, how many we're throwing in today? We'll go about 20-hour day today. Be a nice little 20-hour day for your boy today. So
because you guys are still on the other side of roster procurement.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So a lot of things, right? So it's just transitions from draft to football stuff, right? So it's just, get a little 20-hour day, half and half, and get my 10 or so hours in on football and my 10 or so hours in on Quick U. You know what I mean? Just rocking and rolling. Or actually, my 8 hours Quick U, 2 hours, 2 hours for this, and then about 8 to 10. It depends on what time my brain shuts off. I can feel it coming.
So you guys are installing playbooks.
Yeah, doing an install
such.
and lots of Visio. I've turned into a little architect here the last particularly last night, and then I'll do it again late tonight, and I'll have the game on, and I'll be drawing my little ass away on Vizio. But Neal, the Kia of Meridian chat is already bumping. And if you're looking forward to a fresh start and the brand new ride, Kia of Meridian is kicking off 2026 with deals you can't miss. Right now, you can get 0% financing for 48 months on every 2025 Kia Telluride in stock. If you need an affordable third row, why not? Go check out that Telluride. Or you can drive the 2025 Sorrento for just $569 a month. He'd be pissed at me. For just $569 a month. Or grab the Kia Soul for $379 a month and the all-new K4 for $394 a month. That's right. Don't wait. Come by Kia of Meridian today. That's right. Kia Meridian. Let me tell you what else they do for you at Kia Meridian.
Yep.
When you go by and you say, Trav, put me in that fresh new 2025 Telluride. And he's going to say, guess what I'm about to do for you, sir? I'm going to pull it on out and let you spin the wheel and win awesome prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, and more. So check them out at Kia of Meridian. We're also brought to you by the official RV dealer, McCready Siskey. Who is that, you may ask? That's County Line Campers, located right there in the metropolis of Gulfport, Mississippi, right off exit 38, I-10, in the wonderful city of Gulfport, Mississippi. That's right. Why, friends, are you looking for a hotel when you go on the road? Why can't you just take your house on the road with you? That's right. Right now, they are running a new RV sale right there at County Line Campers. And listen to this. You can get a free 2-night camping weekend with your new RV. Are we black and blue here?
I'm trying to figure out what in the world's going on. I've never seen this before, so I'll figure.
I'm assuming we're still live.
I think we're still live.
Okay. We got an audio file anyway, right? So right now at Kia Meridian, that's right, you can buy your camper and get your first trip already paid for. It's like buying a grill and then throwing in the steaks for free. That's right. You can get travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, basically everything except an excuse not to go outside. So check them out at countylinecampers.com. And don't forget to follow us on all the social media. That's TikTok, Instagram, that is X, Twitter. That's in 2026 is the year that you could actually use your vacation time and start at County Line Campers. How about that?
How about that?
Did you get it all fixed up?
I don't know that I've got it all fixed up, but I think I have it where it's serviceable. I've never seen that before. I don't know what.
I didn't either. I don't know what the hell was going on over there.
I don't know what happened.
You downsized the camera or something?
No. I don't know.
Brand new. Let's go. All right. Let's get into it. All right. So topic number one, we'll start out with some NFL stuff today. Sean McDermott fired at Buffalo this morning. I'm personally shocked. Like I'm shocked is not even the right word. I'm floored. I don't even know. There's a lot of things I don't understand here, but
I'm kind of shocked that you're shocked.
Well, and I'll tell you why. I mean, He's been a head coach for 9 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's done a terrific job.
Done a great job. Buffalo has been in the playoffs the last 8 seasons. So you're sitting here and you're going like, all right, the team that's done that. And here's the thing. This stat's very interesting to me. Buffalo is the only team in the National Football League to win 10-plus games for 7 straight seasons.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. The list is one. It's Buffalo. That's him as the head coach.
Yep.
And with so many coaching changes going on out there right now, I mean, this makes 10 openings.
Yep.
Or we've had a couple filled with Harbaugh and Stefanski, which we'll talk about in a second. But, you know, you look at Buffalo and where they've been as a franchise, and you and I remember, there's probably listeners that listen to our show don't even remember it, but they had that run in the 90s, okay, where they went to the Super Bowl 4 straight years, but they didn't win one with Marv Levy as head coach. And then they go on, they had a couple guys like Wade Phillips was there. They had a little bit of success. But prior to Sean McDermott, you know they've been 17 consecutive years without making the playoffs?
I did, yes. Only because I read about this a good bit this morning when it happened.
So you go from 17 straight years of not making the playoffs. He's been the head coach of 9, 8 of those which he's made the playoffs in 7 consecutive years of 10-win seasons.
Yeah.
Like, it just goes to show you, it's kind of the thing, you know, when coaches jump all the time, right? That's always what the coaches in a generalization is. They jump from job to job and people get mad at them for whatever reason, right? Mm-hmm. But it's almost like when you look at this, you're like almost this is why, because if you have, we went through it at Arkansas State with Steve Roberts. Arkansas State had been a doormat for decades. He brought them to, kind of being, from a Sunbelt perspective, being a very respectable team. But it's like, sooner or later, being good is not good enough. The expectations keep to grow. And, look, at the end of the day, they're an overtime game away from getting in the championship game. And they, it's just bizarre. I was kind of surprised that happened. I get that the long period of not winning a Super Bowl, but winning is hard. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, to me, again, this is just me, my opinion. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback, in my opinion, to ever play the game.
Okay.
He's won one Super Bowl. And so with Josh Allen being 29 years old and you're going to have a shot every year, I just didn't understand. I don't know. Maybe I'm just messed up.
I just think
possibly could be the case.
I just think this is, well, I mean, that's going to be the excuse they use, but let's be real. They just haven't, they're frustrated that they can't break through. Winning is hard. Winning a championship is hard. It takes luck. And at that level, it's about health and things, and they've had different things that have happened, and this was the year that there was no Patrick Mahomes in the way. There was no Joe Burrow in the way. I guess no Lamar Jackson in the way. This was supposed to be their year, and Sean Payton and Bo Nix got in the way. And I don't know, maybe they didn't like the way that McDermott got so upset about the officiating call the other day. I don't know. Maybe there's more to it, but he was beloved in Buffalo, except for the fact that they couldn't get past the AFC title game. And Josh Allen's not getting any younger, and the way that he plays the game is risky because he's so physical and he runs. And I mean, I'm not excusing it. I wouldn't fire Sean McDermott because you have a proven commodity, but you've hit the point where now it's all about championships.
Yeah.
I mean,
let me ask you a question. If the year that they were really, really good, the year that they lost to the Kansas City in that, before they changed the overtime rules, that game, you remember when they were in Kansas City?
Yes.
Let's say they win that game.
Okay.
And they go on and win the Super Bowl.
Is he fired today? No.
If they go to the Super Bowl, is he fired?
Probably not.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, the
line is so fine.
Oh, it's crazy
to start over. It's all over.
And you watch like that game. You watch the Bears-Rams game last night, and the margins between winning and losing are so incredibly narrow. I mean, I covered 2 playoff games where Ole Miss beat Georgia, and it could have easily been Georgia beating Ole Miss, and Miami beat Ole Miss, and it could have easily been Ole Miss beating Miami. Easy, change of play. You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Change of play. I mean,
so you scrap it,
and so when that's, to me, that's why I always say to when people go, well, this game is really consequential, and I'm like, dude, if you're really down to one game, you either need to take a step back or you've already made up your mind, and you ought to just go ahead and do it.
Yeah. That's just,
but that's crazy. I mean, so now you're going to bring in a new guy. And look, there's a world where he's the difference and he gets you over the top. There's a world where he comes in and he screws up the culture and he screws up the chemistry and you go backwards.
And
that's the crazy part is, because to your point, see, this is the thing, right? And I'm not criticizing the Bills. I kind of get it. But when you go like that Mahomes game you're talking about, change of play. One play. Yeah. The other day, a
coin toss in that game.
A coin. Literally change the coin. Let it be heads instead of tails or tails instead of heads, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, look, we can debate what should have been called, but let's just say the call on the field had been a catch. Okay?
Yeah.
They kick a field goal and win.
Or they don't try to score before halftime and he fumbles and they kick a field goal. They win in regulation.
But literally,
yeah.
And look, you could do this with a lot of games.
Yeah. NFL more than others, but
it's
so close.
Change a play.
Mm-hmm.
And so change 2 plays in his entire tenure. And hell, they might have a Super Bowl and on their way to another Super Bowl.
It's wild.
And so I think that's my thing is it's where you would want to be, hey, are we sure about this? Are we sure this isn't emotional? But
which gets me to my Sistradamus, my prediction here. I don't think if you're going to change McDermott, he's a defensive guy. If you're going to make that change, they're either bringing in somebody as the head coach that's not going to change what they're doing offensively, or Joe Brady's getting the head job. I don't think you make this change with the success you've had with Josh Allen.
I wouldn't think.
And start over. Now, NFL's different. They
Yeah.
can go – it's not like college. They'll go hire a random guy and like, hey, the offensive staff is staying or whatever it is, and you don't have a choice in that matter. But I would be utterly shocked if they changed what they're doing on offense and change who's doing it. Now, so I saw somebody in the thread. I saw it earlier on TikTok Live too. Somebody mentioned Brian Daboll because he was there or whatever. But still, I don't think there's any change that's going to happen offensively. I would be stunned if they did wholesale change and we're going to bring in a new coordinator, new offense, and everything else.
Yeah.
Like, you got a generational guy right here, and they don't need to screw. And he's playing like it. You know, he made some mistakes yesterday, but brother, I wouldn't want to go in there and they got their. The only thing they need on offense is they need a marquee number one wide receiver.
Yeah.
But besides that, they got tight ends are good, running backs good, quarterback's good. They got multiple tight ends. Offensive line's played well. That's just the only thing they're really missing offensively.
Just really hard to win in the NFL.
It is.
I
It's
mean,
hard.
you know what I mean? There's 32 teams, probably 20-something are run incredibly well, and the margins are so small.
Yeah.
And, you know,
yeah,
you get some bad luck. I mean, literally, the game against Kansas City that year was about the toss of a coin.
Yeah. But I'm sure if he wants to work this year, he'll be able to get a job with all the openings.
McDermott?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure that his agent's phone is quite busy this morning.
How good of a fit would he be in Pittsburgh with that consistency?
Oh, I mean,
you know what I mean?
A lot.
I mean,
if you're the Steelers, that's a call.
Speaking of, Mike Tomlin, since our last show, steps down as the head football coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Amidst all kinds of rumors and everything else, but I don't know.
There was a great story in The Athletic about his last meeting with the Steelers.
I didn't see it.
It was just excellent. He met with the Rooneys earlier that morning. He still had 2 years left on his deal. They weren't going to fire him. He was going to get another season. I think they were going to urge him to make some coordinator changes. And inside the locker room, players wanted some coordinator changes, but players did not want Tomlin relieved of his duties. But he told them it was time, that he needed to take a break. And talked about the meeting, got a standing ovation, a lot of players crying. Incredibly respected in that building. I've told you before, I've been around him at the Senior Bowl and also at a pro day. You can tell the people in the league respect him, immensely.
Yeah. He's a hell of a coach, man. I mean, guys, he never had a losing season?
If he did, it was only like one.
Yeah, man. It's been
and it was
how
like
many years?
8-9 season or something. I mean,
consistency is hard to do in the National Football League, much less anywhere. But
brutal.
I mean, it's.
Well, I mean, you can have a season like the Bengals had this year, where you lose Joe Burrow in week 3, week 4.
The Chiefs went 6-11.
I mean, yeah.
And
everybody goes, Andy Reid, man, he's lost it. Yeah, his team got old. I mean, it's.
Fun fact about Andy Reid, by the way.
The margins, man. Like, you watched that Rams game last night. It was a great game.
Yeah.
Super entertainment.
I can't believe that. Fourth down.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine today if
I don't know what the hell the corner was doing, but whatever.
If DJ Hall is it DJ Hall? The receiver for the Bears, number 2.
It's CT. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
DJ Moore.
He kind of ran the wrong route. He was supposed to flatten there.
Yeah.
And Williams threw the ball anticipating that he would flatten, and he didn't. And the corner read it and intercepted it. And, the rest, Matt Stafford got another chance, and that was that. But, I mean, if the Bears had won that game, let's say you complete that pass and Santos kicks a field goal and it's 2017 Bears. I mean, the Rams would go into the offseason going, oh, my God, at that fourth down. Oh, they would just play that. But that's how close you are to go from, hey, we're going to Seattle with the chance to win the Super Bowl, to we're done. We've got to go in this locker room and thaw out and realize that it just ended on this weird-ass fourth down miracle play where Caleb Williams makes what might end up being the greatest play of his career. You know what I mean? I mean, the margins are just super thin.
C.J. Stroud, everybody's ready to fire C.J. Stroud today. But if they win in overtime, are they still mad the way he played yesterday? Yeah. But they're going, wait a minute. We're going to Denver
with a chance to
with
win.
Jarrett Stidham at quarterback for the Broncos to go to the Super Bowl. You know, I mean, it's a whole different vibe off of
DJ Hall was an Alabama wide receiver. I knew there was a DJ Hall.
DJ Hall, he was long time ago. Look at you going back.
Well,
I like it. It's back in the Shula days right there, I think.
It's my early onset dementia right there.
All right, John Harbaugh hired for the Giants. I mean, great hire. I mean, the Giants come out of this thing smell like a rose. I mean, Harbaugh's what, one of the top 5 coaches in the NFL, probably.
Okay, yeah, but he lost his locker room in Baltimore. There are people who say he's getting old. That I'm curious here, right? I think for the Giants, this is this stabilizing, big name, marquee hire, and maybe this is a rejuvenating thing for him. But maybe this is on Lamar. Maybe this is on him. Maybe this is organizational. But they didn't ever get over the hump either.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so this whole
the Giants are just trying to get to the hump, though.
They are. No, they are. It's one of those hires that you go, that's a big name hire. And when you dive into it, you go, but is it a great hire? And we don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think he's a hell of a coach. I mean,
in a world where it ends up not going well, there's a world where I think people look back and go, ooh, we hired. This is kind of like, it's potentially, remember in baseball back in the days before all the analytics, somebody would hire a free agent in his 30s and they would pay him for what he did in his 20s.
Yeah, for Moneyball.
Yeah. I do kind of wonder if this is a pre-Moneyball coaching decision.
Well, but it's not like they're going to have a long list of guys.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? That's a tough gig.
But it's a move for the Giants that at least right this moment has instant credibility.
And then the other thing for him from a bonus standpoint is you got Neighbors will be coming back from injury. I mean, they were beat. I mean, not only were they not very good, but they have some really good young players that got hurt with Scattaboo and Neighbors and those guys, and they can build off of it. They got a high draft pick, and they got a high draft pick with not needing a quarterback. So I think he's going to be in a good position to improve where they were. And then Kevin Stefanski hired with the Falcons. Look, I know he's with the Browns. I get it. I think this guy's a good coach too now. He's fun to watch. So I think he'll do good in Atlanta. I think Atlanta's got a good base. I still think Atlanta's got to figure out their quarterback situation. I'm not all in on Penix Jr. I think they got to figure out their quarterback situation. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I think they need to do something there. I don't understand you got a generational running back right now. Offensive line's good. Defense is good. They got really good players. They're just not – they're probably missing a true wide receiver one, a dominant guy, and the quarterback play is what they're missing. I mean, they're not as far off as everybody thinks they are.
Yeah.
That's going to be a very interesting outcome for me. I'll be interested with that. All right, the AFC and NFC title games are set as the aforementioned New England Patriots with the overtime dub versus the Texans will be at Denver, who had an overtime dub against the Bills. The thing of this one, and I had no idea, by the way. I had no
New England
idea.
And Houston went to overtime?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
I was like, no, you're good.
I'm wrong. I had another game going through my head. My bad.
Because I was thinking I really didn't watch that game very closely, and
I was
totally
like, wow, Houston really Bears in my head.
Oh, you're good. I was starting to think I'd lost my mind.
No,
there.
That was me. But the Patriots are traveling after they disposed of the Texans. They're traveling to Denver with the Bo Nixless, free-ish, not going to play Denver Broncos and the fighting Jarrett Stidhams. I had no idea about an injury at all And then I'm sitting there watching the pregame of something else, or I changed channels and it comes across. I was like, oh my God. Like, and then I had to go back and watch it, and I was trying to find it.
Most of the Broncos were in the locker room celebrating the win, doing interviews, having no idea that Bo Nix was in another room being consoled by family.
It's froze over here on this end.
Oh, yeah, mine froze too. Yet we appear to be still going. We're back.
We're back?
Yeah, just keep going. I don't know. Our internet's been a little weird for a day.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Hey, we back, refresh, and we're back. But no, the whole Bo Nix thing, I had no idea. And it just randomly, it popped up, and I was like, Bo Nix, because you know how they do the breaking news or whatever. And it was like, Sean Payton says Bo Nix is out for the year. I was watching that game. It's like he played the whole damn game. And then AJ and I were actually doing a meeting, and I told him, I was like, dude, did you see? So we're back looking on Twitter, and that's when I told you, is like the first clip I got, which it probably didn't help things. I know he got hurt, I guess, a play before that. But the last time when they took a knee to center it, the center got knocked back and actually stepped on his leg too. So that probably did not feel good.
Probably didn't feel good. They feel pretty certain that that's when it happened, though, was that fourth play before it ended.
When they ran the quarterback sweep?
Yeah.
It was wild, man. But Jarrett Stidham not taking a snap since 2023. One of two backups not to take a snap this year. So no pressure, boss. AFC title game at home. Oh my gosh. That just sucks. If you're a Denver fan,
Nick Foles once led the Eagles to a title.
Yeah, this ain't the same.
No, I know.
Not the same. And I like Jarrett Stidham. But, brother, when you hadn't taken a snap in 2 years, and it's like, hey, here's the AFC title game.
And here's the Patriots.
Go get them, kid.
Yeah.
I mean, Baylor, really good quarterback at Baylor, went to Auburn. Probably wasn't as good at Auburn as he was at Baylor, but has had a good pro career, been in New England everywhere. But, yeah, that one feels like the Patriots just don't screw this one up. Drake May's playing ridiculous. So, yeah, I just hated it for the Broncos and Broncos fans and coaches and organization. That just sucks. I mean, not even a high ankle sprain where we could give you some Johnny Feelgood and some tape and some Toradol and let you go play, man.
Go into Birmingham. I think he's flying to Birmingham today to have the operation tomorrow.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, then the Rams at the Seahawks. Probably the interesting thing for me about this is the Seahawks get to the playoffs as the 1 seed. They got to play divisional rival for the third time, which they disposed of, the 49ers. And then they got to play for another third time. So back-to-back games to get to the Super Bowl, they got to go through their own division. Playing the Rams, it'll be the third time they've met. They split during the regular season. Yep. One was a 2-point game, one was a 1-point game. So I expect this one to be no different. I think it'll be
two teams that don't like each other, know each other well, are sick of each other, and now you play for the
3 times in the same year.
You play for the right to be the favorite in the Super Bowl. The winner of this game will be a favorite over either a Stidham-led Broncos or a Patriots team.
Yeah, obviously, I think it'll be closer if it's the Seahawks. I think the Rams match up better with the Patriots than the Seahawks do. But yeah, they're freaking they're good, man. I mean, so who do you like in that game, Rams Seahawks?
I'm just not betting against Matthew Stafford at this point. He just finds ways to win close games. If he gets the ball, I'll probably go Rams, and then I'm
pulling for the Rams. I want Matthew Stafford to win one. I do.
He's already won one. He beat our Bengals.
2. I forget. I keep forgetting. I get the Jared Goff year. That was the next year.
That was Stafford.
I like Stafford. I want him
Had
to
it been Jared Goff in that game, Bengals probably would have had a title.
Yeah. That was the next year. Right?
Again, there's sort of the NFL point. I mean,
I like Matthew.
You could argue that the Bengals are a third down pass interference call on Logan Wilson from being champs.
Yeah. Stafford deserves 2 after spending his first 75% of his career in Detroit with no help.
Yeah.
He deserves 2.
But it just shows you, the whole title or bust thing is not the best way to make organizational decisions.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Got anything to tell me about before we move on?
Yeah. I do. We're brought to you by Cole Walters, State Farm Insurance. Cole, licensed in auto, home, life, health, business, and pet insurance for the whole states of Georgia and Alabama. You can contact Cole at 706-525-7850. You can also find him online at ColeWaltersInsurance.com. We're brought to you by Bank First. It's the hometown bank with people who understand the needs of our communities. That means local decisions, local support, local folks who care. If your kid made the team at Bank First, they're not just bankers, they're neighbors, they're friends. Whether you're buying a home, starting a business, or you just need someone to explain what APR actually means, they're here right down the street. Give Gant Boone a call at 662-310-0204 to learn more, or visit bankfirstfs.com. Bank First, with locations in Oxford, Starkville, Hattiesburg, and Tuscaloosa. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, bank NMLS 454063. Got great rates and terms for condo purchases in all of their markets. They got superb technology with their app, online banking. They provide merchant services, including Clover point of sale systems, and much more at Bank First. Again, bankfirstfs.com. And we're brought to you by Outdoor Underwriters. Everyone loves the outdoors, but you want to make sure your hunt club or your timberland is covered. Outdoor Underwriters provides the insurance you need at a price that makes sense. Outdoor Underwriters provides liability protection for occurrences arising out of activities and operations of your hunt club and its members, guests, invitees, agents, or employees. Take comfort in blind and tree stand liability, mobile equipment liability, hunting dog liability, and more. Outdoor Underwriters also provides standing timber insurance, timberland liability, prescribed burn coverage, guides and outfitters, and consulting foresters. They're endorsed by the National Deer Association, the Wild Turkey Federation, and the Forest Owners Associations of Alabama, Florida, Texas, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Louisiana. You can access all of those products through those association websites, or you can call Outdoor Underwriters at 866-961-4101 or online at outdoorund.com.
How about that?
How about that?
All right, tonight, Neal, the national championship game between the Miami Hurricanes and the Indiana Hoosiers. Quick U versus Quick U. Let's go. These are the hard ones for me to watch because I got friends on both sides. Somebody's going to be ecstatic, going to have a life memory tonight. The other one's going to have a life nightmare following tonight. So that sucks. So, one of them's going to be happy, one's going to be sad. But, Neal, I don't have a great feel for this game. It's one of the very few matchups all year when you look at strength versus, it's strength on strength, and something has to give. I don't know what's going to give. I have no idea. I wouldn't even know how. I'm sure that obviously they use analytics and everything else, but how to put a line on this game when you got Miami, what they're doing up front offensively, and they've kind of controlled the line of scrimmage. They've played A&M, they've played Ohio State, they've played Ole Miss, and they've done the rinse and repeat the same 3 games in the playoffs with their game plan.
They're an impressive team when you watch them in person on the lines of scrimmage.
And then let's turn around and look at Indiana on defense. Where has Indiana gotten on defense? They're dominating the line of scrimmage. They are really good in the front 7. They're not playing many guys. They're playing about 13 guys, meaningful snaps on defense. So, it's just strength on strength, right? That's how Indiana handled Ohio State, is they controlled the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
And so it's this game of, hey, these guys are very similar from that style. And then let's go to the other side of the field. You got Indiana, we have the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, and they've made their living in, base 6-man protection, those things. Well, defensively on the front, you look at, Miami's been really good on the back end. They got some guys dinged up, but I think they'll be healthy and ready to go tonight. They have the one player that's going to miss the first half in the secondary, the kid that was transferring from Wisconsin, but he's going to miss the first half because of targeting. But when you look at schematically and how you look at the matchups and things like that, if, Indiana and Ole Miss, to their credit, Ole Miss gave kind of a blueprint of how to handle them up front. You can't make it a drop back passing game. Everything's got to be quick. Now, you run some risk on some things, right? So What I mean by quick passing game is like when you're in pass protection, okay, and your tackles are setting way off the ball, okay, you're in true six-man protection. When you got good speed, good edge players, you got to set with some depth. Well, you're going to be the positive is you're going to be in position to block the guy. The bad news is you're giving him a lot of room to work and use his athleticism because you're creating separation at the snap. By going more quick game or more flat sets and things like that you normally use for quick game, you're going to be able to quick set them a little bit and mess up the rhythm a little bit. And you can get on them quicker.
Yep.
But the downside of that is in order to push the ball downfield, you're going to have to hold on to the ball a little bit longer. That's going to create issues. And then when you look at somebody like that's kind of what Ole Miss did. But the advantage that Ole Miss had is they had Trinidad Chambliss who could avoid and move around and make things happen. And then when you look at Indiana, Mendoza's just not quite as mobile, right?
Right.
And so you run that risk of, hey, we're going to run a little quick game. We're going to do some quick game pass sets with a little bit, push the routes downfield a little bit, and hold on to it a little bit longer. So something's got to give. You know what I'm saying? I don't know which one's going to win, but something's got to give because you got strength on strength on both sides of the ball. It's just very unusual to have that in matchups in college anymore. But I have no feel whatsoever. I mean, you could pretty much tell me any result of this game and I wouldn't be surprised. I don't even know what would surprise me. I guess Miami completely blowing them out would probably surprise me.
That would surprise me.
But Miami winning the game wouldn't surprise me.
No.
Indiana winning a close game wouldn't surprise me. Indiana winning by 10 points wouldn't surprise me. I think this is a one-score game either way, but, I don't know, man. This one's got me a little perplexed from a match like actually one of the few games this year that like a big game that has played. We've had this much film on that I really usually even in these big, I kind of got a good feel or, hey, you could tell me a score of a game and I could tell you what happened. Like if you told me like you were Neal Stradamus and you told me this is the score of the game, I can tell you pretty much how that game played out. This one, I don't have a feel like that.
Well, you taught me a little rule earlier this year, and I've broken it a couple of times, but it's simply just don't bet against Signetti. So I'm just going Indiana.
Well, no, the rule is this. The rule is don't bet with your heart. Is rule number one.
Right.
Rule number two is don't bet against Signetti. So you either don't bet the game or you take Indiana.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
you either don't bet or
I'm not betting against him.
You don't bet against him.
I mean, they just line up and whip people. I mean, they made Alabama and Oregon look like bad football teams. And those aren't bad football teams. They made them look bad.
It's almost they just grind you down with fundamentally sound football.
And that's in all jokes aside, it's the reason that I think I'm picking them. After watching, because I just watched Miami in person 10 nights ago.
Yeah.
And in a game where Miami dominated the line of scrimmage. And yet, and look, some of this was Trinidad Chambliss was brilliant. But they had almost 42 minutes of possession. And there was a realistic world where they lose that game. I mean, Beck made a throw on that drive, ultimately to win the game. He made a throw on that drive that if he throws that thing 6 inches to a foot lower, and I know he didn't.
Yeah,
there's a world where Perkins intercepts that, and that's that. It's done. And I mean, I always make notes to myself in games like, hey, because sometimes something happens with 4 or 5 minutes left, and you're like, oh, that's big. And then something else happens, and you end up writing about that, and you never kind of go back to that. And so I'll make notes to myself, and it was when Ole Miss scored to take the lead in that game, I wrote a note to myself, you've got to figure out a way to convey this without sounding shocked. Because it wasn't that I was shocked that Ole Miss was about to do this. I was shocked that this game that I had watched play out, if you watch a game the way that I typically watch a game from a press box, I really watch the lines of scrimmage just because that's where it's all decided, right? Like, Ole Miss didn't hold up particularly well on either side at the actual point of attack, and yet here they were about to go win a game, and so that against Indiana, I'm not saying I am saying Indiana is probably the most disciplined team in the country.
Yeah,
They just don't make mistakes. And I think against Miami, I think Miami will ultimately make some mistakes. Indiana will capitalize, and that'll be that. And unlike Ole Miss, and maybe I'll eat these words, I don't know. Ole Miss didn't have enough size and speed defensively to kind of get them off the field a few times. Indiana does. There's a lot more size and speed up front.
Or
on the back end, I should say.
For Miami to win this game, regardless of how good they are up front and all that stuff, for Miami to win this game, the one thing that they have to do, and this is one thing I would look for, if Miami's on first down is winning first down on offense, well, they're getting 7, 6, 7 yards, call it 5+ yards on first down. And when you got 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4, it's hard with what they do on the offense to not get a first down if you're at 2nd and 4.
Yeah.
And they're so efficient on first down.
Yep.
And then on the flip side, that's their formula. On the flip side, if they can keep you from getting 2nd and 5+, they get you behind the chains. And brother, when you're like, you can't. So from a schematic standpoint, if you're calling plays on P&10, you're rolling. You got a team like this, we're going to do some things we're going to throw it on first down, whatever we got to do. But when it comes 3rd and 7+, you can't, with all the pressures and everything else, simulated pressure, 6 up, 7 up, whatever it is, you can't flat set and get on these guys in quick game and hold up for the depth of the route that you have to do.
Right.
And so you have to go to some man protection. And that's where they've really eaten on people and created issues. And then, you'll see, okay, well, if that is their plan, they're going to have a ton of check down Charlies, and they're going to be checking down the flats and checking down, trying to get some, run after catch to get the first down. But being able to win first down in this game for Miami is what's critical for their success.
Yeah.
I mean, period. And then from a Indiana's perspective, I think critical for their success is if they're going to play 13 guys, man, they gotta eat their Wheaties for pregame meal. They gotta be rolling, which it's now they're in pregame meal as we speak. So you better freaking carb up or whatever you got to do to get going, because it's gonna be a fight. And like I said, people worry about people holding up, but brother, if you can't hold up and you can't get your mind right for this game, then I think it's gonna be a great game. So I'm excited to watch it. All right, Neal. Last thing here.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you knew this or not. The portal has closed.
Yes.
The portal has closed.
It has.
It has. I was joking with somebody. I was talking to a GM today, and we were talking, and I was
What
like,
league?
Big Ten.
Okay.
And we were talking, and I was laughing, and he said, we were just talking about the shit show that has occurred in the last, 2 weeks and everything that's going on. And I was joking. I was like, yeah, it's like, usually during these times, like our work for Quick U, the work leading up to the portal is already done, and so you're kind of navigating a couple things here and there. Most of my calls in the last 2 weeks have been therapy sessions of people just calling to, needed a sounding board of just pissed off and didn't have anybody else to talk to.
Yeah.
I've seen a shit show.
I've seen some screenshots of coaches' text. And there's a lot of angst out there.
Oh,
there's a lot of angst.
Like, I mean, just it's been by far. I haven't had one person tell me, not the first person. Every one of them unanimously, 100% said this particular portal window has been the biggest shit show since any of this stuff started, because of all the variance that's out there. And I want to kind of,
okay,
I'm going to do my Cliff Notes version. We're not having to burn candles or matches today.
Okay.
I'm going to try to do my very best. I actually thought this out to try to explain it for everybody. So the first thing I want to talk about is buyouts. Okay. There seems to be a lot of questioning going on with buyouts and things like that. Now, how the buyout is supposed to work. Okay.
Okay.
When they said, and this is going to show you how you get around things.
Okay.
When Johnny buyout, when it all came out, okay, and the buyouts were this year. So there is a system called CAPS, okay? It's Collegiate or College Athletic Payment System, okay? When you go in, all right, you're our player for Louisiana Monroe.
Okay.
And they put in, we're paying you in the system, your buyout is whatever.
Okay.
Okay. I'm at Midwestern State of Oklahoma. I'm going to get Neal McCready out of the portal. Once you commit to me and I go to put you in my system, it's going to pop up and it's going to say Neal McCready has a $300,000 buyout.
Wow.
All right.
That's a lot at ULM.
There is a box to check, and it says player is paying buyout or school is paying buyout.
Okay.
Check one. If you check school is paying buyout, that said $300,000 is going to come out of my rev share.
Right.
If I say player is going to pay for it, I then give $300,000 out of my collective and give it to said agent for consulting fees. And then said agent pays the player's buyout. Now I don't lose the $300,000 out of my rev share. You with me?
I'm with you. So what you essentially just described is circumventing the rules, essentially laundering money.
Well, I mean,
kinda.
Not really though. I mean, it's all reported. It's not.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
but it doesn't come out of your rev share.
Right. So,
and it's not third party because you're going through the agent.
So the $300,000 in this scenario goes to the agent under the auspices of NIL?
Can be anything, consulting fees, whatever they pay anything for.
Okay.
So that's how you can get around it. Okay. All right. Now, that's that. Okay. So if you're wondering how people are getting around, like that's one way, right?
I'm that's bizarre. Anyway.
Or you can say, I'm going to pay you $300,000 more than your or people put it in rev share and they pay for it. Right. So it's one or the other, but it will come out of your rev share doing it that way.
Okay.
All right. Now, here's one of the things that's going around that people are having fans are having a difficult time understanding, and I get it, is the disparity in the amounts of money that each team has to spend when we're allegedly on a cap. Okay.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear you explain this because I've gotten a couple of lessons in this weekend talking to people, and it's really fascinating.
Yeah. So we got 4 types of teams here. Okay.
Okay.
We can put them all into 4 groups. Okay. Group number 1. These are the rich people. These are like the Saudis. This is like what is it? What's my
Saudi, in this world? Texas Tech, Texas.
Yes.
Those kind of teams.
Yes.
Okay.
So what they did, which we've discussed this before, is they front loaded their entire team.
Explain to the people what that means. So
in July, before their house settlement went through, okay, what they did is they said, okay, I got in 2026, I owe Neal McCready $1 million for 2026. So in July, before the house settlement went through, the collective or booster or whatever, why NIL was still available as pay for play, they went ahead and paid all of Neal's salary for 2026. You with me?
Yep.
So they front loaded in July, one-time payment. So whatever we owed you on the remaining of your 2026 contract,
I got it in July.
You got it in July of 25.
Okay.
I paid you all up front. All the money I owe you was paid to you in July.
Okay.
All right. So when they got their money in rev share, they didn't have to spend any of it this whole fall remember, rev share is on
So what number did I count on? The 25 number?
No.
Okay.
So you signed a contract in January of last year. Let's say you signed.
Okay, so I signed a contract in January of 2025.
Correct.
With you at Midwestern State of Oklahoma.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
And let's say that for even numbers, let's say that was $1 million contract.
Okay.
And I'd already paid you $500,000. Okay. But all of a sudden, when this house settlement comes up, I'm gonna go, okay, Neal, and
so July, you paid me $500 in January,
and I paid you $500 up, and then I owe you. When July hit, I still owed you $500 for the rest of that contract, right?
Okay.
So I front loaded and gave you the rest of your contract. I paid everything in full.
Okay.
In July.
So that never counted against a number; it just was money.
Yeah, because it was like the collectives, right? It's funny money.
Oh, so it was pre.
I got you.
Okay, I got you now. I got you now. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so I paid your whole team. We paid everything for this 2025 football team. We paid it in July.
Okay.
We didn't pay $1 out of rev share. It was all paid in July.
Okay.
So now remember that rev share is on fiscal years. So it runs middle of the year to middle of the year.
Yeah, July 1 to June 30.
Right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So now when January comes around, I'm sitting here with $13.5 million that I can spend in the next 6 months because I'm getting another whatever it's going to next year. I'm getting a whole nother bundle in July 1st. So they have $13.5 million right now. That's the average. Some are more, some are less.
All right.
But they have all that money right now to spend. And so a lot of these, and then now it's how you, but you got all this big money to go spend for acquisition and retention if you needed it. You with me?
Yep.
Okay. Those are the richest teams because some of them are now spending a bulk of it. They're going all in. They're spending a bulk of it now, and they're robbing Peter to pay Paul, and they're going to. So I got $13.5 million to spend in 6 months, and then I'm going to get a whole nother boatload to pick up. I'm going to get a new deposit in July to pick up the last half of these contracts.
Okay.
And so not a lot, but some of these teams are loading up on players and going over to where this year's roster is going to be freaking gazillion of dollars because some of them front-loaded guys for multiple years.
I'm doing this just because people desperately want to know this stuff.
Yeah.
When you say gazillion dollars, it's obviously not a gazillion dollars, but we're talking 45 to 50 million.
I wouldn't go that high. It just depends on how much they front-loaded and how much they're spending. Every team could be different.
Because I heard, don't know if it's true or not, but was told that one team, I was asking about one team and was told their payroll would end up being around 30 to 35 million.
That's more in a ballpark for me.
And then I said, so what about this team? And they said it's another 10.
So again,
because they front loaded,
and they may have front loaded, and they may have insurance policies,
and they're kind of borrowing.
Incentives.
Yeah.
Okay, so they may also have like those contracts. Maybe remember how I said like some contracts may say $10 million. Well, hell, 3 of it's rev share and 7 of it's bonuses. So they may tell you 10, but they may only pay 3.
Okay.
All right. That's the first team. Okay. Now the second team. Okay. The second team we have are teams that front loaded some. So they may have $6-7 million in this next six months, and then they're going to get another chunk of 13.5 or whatever it goes to next year in July. Okay, so you got teams that front loaded some, but did spend some rev share money, and then so they got what's left of the rev share money, which is 6-7 million, and then going. But teams that didn't front load everything, but front loaded some.
Okay,
all right. Now this is where it gets interesting. This is where you'll like this. Now the third category you have is the teams that didn't front load at all. Okay. But in July, they redid their contracts so they could then pay it out of rev share. Okay.
Okay.
So let's say we had that contract with you, right? And we said, hey, look, we're not going to front load, but we're going to change your contract to where it's all rev share. Okay.
Okay.
And then this is where it gets, those teams are not in good shape, but they're not the worst. The teams that are in the worst shape are the teams that didn't front load anything, and then they didn't redo the NIL contracts. So example, let's say you signed an NIL contract, an 18-month NIL contract in January of 25.
Okay.
And we wanted you so bad. We're going to pay you $1.2 million of NIL. So I raised all this NIL money. I got it for you. But then I didn't redo your contract for rev share. So every payment that's coming out is now coming off my rev share number. And so there was a lot of teams that overextended in the NIL world that didn't redo their contracts in July, and now they burn up most of their rev share money in the first 6 months of the deal. They don't have any money for acquisition of talent.
Okay.
So there's like 4 categories.
Okay.
All right. And so of types of teams. And so obviously, now here's the tricky part. It's not tricky, but here's the interesting part. As I've said on this show for 165 episodes, and you'll remember when I tell you this, these teams that front loaded really heavily, and they're spending all this money that you're like, the teams that you're saying are $30 and $40 million rosters.
Yep.
They're doing one, they're gambling. Okay.
Okay. Now this is where I'm interested, because everything else that you just described is like the for lack of a better word, sort of the rule followers.
The last part.
But this is the part where people are.
This is the part that's going to be interesting for your boy here. These teams that front loaded all this stuff.
Yep.
And some teams are front loading. You're going, how in the hell they come up with that money? Because,
Yep.
hey, they're GMs. I mean, and that's the other thing. There's no secret. All the GMs know who's paying. I mean, because I'm recruiting this guy. He's going here. I'm like, how the hell? They know who's paying the money, who's not. It's the ghost. All right. Those teams that heavily front loaded, 1 year from now, if we're still in the asterisks,
Capital I,
capital I,
F.
capital F, if we're still in this system, 12 months from now,
they're going to have hell to pay.
it's going to be tough, boss. It's going to be really tough.
So they're gambling that, like the Miami president, the Ohio State AD, all these people that are saying, hey, we got to take these caps off. The caps don't work. No caps.
Note to self. Can I give you a note to self?
Sure.
Look at the presidents that are complaining. Why do you think they're complaining?
Well, because they're going to be in that boat.
They know the taxes are going to be due. Right?
Yeah, sure.
So 2027 is going to be rough. Does that make sense?
I'm turning the light back on you.
So for all the teams that are heavy front loading, 2027, a year from now, if things haven't changed, it's going to be very, very interesting to see, because as we've stated on here, kids don't like pay cuts. You're seeing some of that now, and you're seeing some of it, but you're not seeing it to as crazy as it will be a year from now. And which leads me to the next point of this. There are a lot of players that are going into the portal because last year, I'm just throwing out numbers here. Last year I made $500,000.
Yep.
And I had a great year, but they're only offering me $300 to keep me. So they faced the pay cut. They went out into the world and realized that I can't get $500 anywhere else. The best I can do is $300. They're trying to come back.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are trying to come back out of the portal. Now you just got to hope they got a spot for you, because some teams have moved on. Some teams have moved on. Somebody will pick them up, but a lot of people went in the portal with, like, I say this. We talk about tampering, right? That's a big word. Everybody wants to use the word tampering. Tampering is the best thing for the student athlete. It's kind of like, hate me all you want.
No.
It's the same thing with targeting. I'm an offensive guy. I don't like, as a receivers guy, I don't like targeting, because I can lose a guy for a week with a concussion, or I can lose him for the year with a blown out knee.
Yeah.
All right. But tampering is the best thing for the player. If I ever said anything, and this is tampering, the best thing for the player is, before you go in the portal, you better have a home.
Yeah.
Which would require tampering.
And a deal.
And a deal. It needs to be done.
Yeah.
And the people have good agents do and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but
sure.
don't go in the portal to start shopping.
Yeah.
Go in the portal when you're leaving the checkout line.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what should happen. And look, I get the coach's frustration, okay? But I always want to go, now come on, coach. You didn't turn in your notice at Midwestern State of Oklahoma just to see what's out there. You turned it down because Kansas A&M had already offered you the gig, and you were getting a massive raise.
That's my favorite when you see,
the
like,
deal was kind of done.
You see high school coaches that are really, really good high school coaches that have won a ton. They'll be like resigning his post, but there's no news. Like, he already got a job.
Yeah, it's done.
It's done. You just don't know about it yet.
Yeah.
But
it's been done for weeks.
The interesting thing for me is, like, I didn't really think about this until going through it the last couple of weeks with Quick U. You know what's interesting about the one portal window is it's a little bit, not a lot, it's helping the G5 schools a little bit.
In what way?
Because a lot of their guys are going in the portal to announce to the world that they're in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
And they realize that, hey, there's only one portal window, and they're going to get to me last, because I'm going to get the A&M guy, I'm going to get the Florida guy, whatever.
Right.
So there's not a lot of money left. And so these guys are like, they have nowhere to go. And so they're actually going back. Like, I talked with one today who they had like, I think 14 or 15 players go in, but they only wanted like 7. They were good with 8 of them.
Yeah.
8 of them were kind of like, we show you, but 7 of them were good players. They're probably going to get 3 back. So instead of the 2 portal window system, which what happened with the G5 is, I mean, you saw it with South Alabama, lost 6 starters.
Yeah.
Is people don't bite in the first. They went in the portal the first go around, but they were in the portal after spring practice. And so you see what you got and all that stuff. And then they had all this time to go tamper with the G5 guys. Now it's all at one time. So it is helping the G5s a little bit, not a lot. They're still going to lose guys.
Yeah.
But they're going to be able to keep 2-3 guys a year that normally they wouldn't, at least for a year, that normally they wouldn't. So that part's a little bit different.
Yeah, the second portal window it gave schools an opportunity to look around and go, okay, what did we not get? All right, let's figure this out. Let's raise some more money. Now, with the rev share thing, at least this year in effect, I mean, there are schools that I can tell you are out of money. They're done. I mean, they can make acquisitions on the edges, perhaps, but like the big dollar, they're done.
They can make acquisitions and backload it when they get new rev share money kind of deal. But then you get into the whole. Then you start it turns into a cycle, right?
You're still credit carding it at that point.
Yeah. So it's very interesting with all the different.
There's a realistic world. Not to interrupt you. There's a realistic world where the gamble pays off.
And it's like for me right now. If you made me bet today, I would say that we go through one more cycle with it like this. But I think by the 2028 cycle, something would change. So I think you're going to see. I just because things happen. If they're going to change it, like I do, they will talk about change for 9 months before they do it. They better start getting on it. It's not something they can say, hey, we're going to change it today. This is not one of those deals.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. So if they're going to change it, they better get really.
Well, there are going to be a lot of nervous people if that's the case.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot.
I mean, because you can't go from I'll use fairly conservative numbers. You can't go from a $35 million payroll to a $26 million payroll without it hurting a little bit. Right? That's a diet.
That's on front loading.
That's a diet.
That's on front loading. What if you went down to 13 million from that?
Oh, you'd be in a world of hurt.
And so the guys who here's the truth is like you sit there and you just can't build anymore, right? And so everything's year to year, but unfortunately with the way the system's set up, you're having to do it multi-years at a time with rev share and front loading and everything like that. The two acquisition strategies don't match. And so that's just it's very, very interesting to see how this all shakes out because like you said, some teams are going to be, if we're still here and the same thing we're going through right now, 12 months from now, it's going to be, this is going to look like this last 2 weeks is going to look like Candyland. It just is.
Yeah.
And then it's just what it is. But like for me, I don't know. It's not, I will say this, when I say if and asterisks and all that stuff, there are enough teams front loading that I think it's going to create such a shit show that they're not going to have a choice but to change it. It's kind of like
changing it, meaning raise the cap, take the cap off. What?
I think you'll see a break off of private equity, because you can't fund it. You won't even be able to fund it taking the cap off.
Yeah, we won't do it today. At some point, I want to pull up. It's mostly basketball, but it relates to football.
Basketball's got a worse problem than football.
Yeah. Did you see the comments John Calipari made last week about his proposal? He said he had talked to Nick Saban. He talked to his proposals are obviously for basketball. He's a basketball coach. Right. It makes sense. But it's about collective bargaining. How do you get to that place? He's clearly talking about
there's one way.
Breaking away this, and forming
there is.
And here's the part where I give Cal credit.
I'm glad he's talking.
I give him credit for talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people are like, he's whining, and I'm like, no, he's really not.
Somebody's got to be the first one.
And he's an older guy. He's been around it a long time, has a lot of credibility among other coaches. But he admits the part that some of the football coaches never quite admit, which is, you can go to Congress for this. Guys, they're not going to do this for us. I mean, he basically says, yes, in an ideal world, Congress carves out an antitrust exemption. And
I think that's going to have to happen regardless, though, but not necessarily in the NCAA.
But he basically admits that's probably not happening. Certainly no time soon.
No, it can't win the NCAA.
And so he says essentially we're going to have to solve our own problems, and he's with you now. Credit to you. You've been saying this since day one, and he's talked to, I can't remember the other coaches, the guy at Houston, Kelvin Sampson,
all the OGs,
the guy at Connecticut.
Yeah.
Why can't I think of names right now? Hurley, Danny Hurley.
My CTE's rubbing off on you.
Maybe so. Maybe it's contagious.
Breaking news.
But he's basically pointed out that the one-time transfer is the fix. That this unlimited transfer thing. Yeah, I know. And this is the part that I think applies to the other sports too. Because the basketball coaches look at the football coaches and go, man, I don't know how y'all do this calendar. Because if we had that calendar, it'd be. But they look at this, at the portal being just essentially this unlimited buffet. And
99% of the problems in college athletics. 99%.
You think it's that high?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So hear me out.
Yeah.
Okay. Hear me out.
I believe you.
If you went back, so this was if you made me in charge of college football tomorrow, okay, and it changes every day because we change the rules every day. But tomorrow, my day one, if you made me commissioner tomorrow, I would propose this. When you sign somewhere out of high school, okay, you are locked into that school, okay? That's your school. That's where you're at.
Okay.
Once you graduate, because the thing that I am of a firm, let me say this first. I'm of a firm opinion, no matter what happens with a break off or whatever we decide to do with collective bargaining and all that stuff, antitrust, the education model has to stay within whatever system we go to. I'm a firm believer in that.
Okay.
Because none of these, not none, 1% of them are going to make a living out of playing their sport, and these kids are not graduating. Now, maybe that's the old school in me, and I get it, and that sentiment, and a lot of people don't care about that. But for me personally, Tyler Siskey, I think it's important for the education model to be in it.
Okay.
Okay. So for me, you're with that school, and you are basically a restricted free agent. Okay. Which means until you graduate, if you transfer before you graduate from said four-year institution, you have to sit out a year.
Even if your coach leaves.
Even if your coach leaves.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Even if your coach leaves. By God, if you go to a school and you're not graduated, you have to sit out a year. Once you graduate and you have a 4-year degree, brother, you're unrestricted. Transfer your ass off. If you want to go in the portal, transfer 64 times, good. And by the way, 5 to play 5. But because if you go to school with all the resources and the time that you're there, most players, if they take their education semi-serious, they can graduate in 3 years because they're there summers, winter, they get all their hours.
Yeah. All
right. But if you graduate, you can go transfer your ass off. Because people think that NIL is the bad part of football. I disagree. Per sources, allegedly, NIL's been around a long time.
Yeah.
All right. But that's not the problem. The problem is that we've created a system with every single player is an unrestricted free agent every single year.
Yeah.
And it's just like the NFL. If every player in the NFL was an unrestricted free agent every year, okay, like Patrick Mahomes is now like the 13th or 14th highest paid quarterback in the league. Now, 4 years ago when he signed his $10-year, $450 million contract, I was like, oh my God.
Right.
Well, now every quarterback that redoes their deal is making $50 million, but he's still under contract. If he was a free agent every single year and could go to Dallas and Jerry Jones would buy him tomorrow for $1 billion.
Yeah.
Like that's what because what you're doing is you're resetting the market with the elite players every single year. And you look up and now it's unsustainable because the thing that we don't have in college athletics as opposed to the NFL, this is the one thing that's different. In the NFL, the owners, the people who are paying it are billionaires beyond billionaires. Okay. They got the money to spend.
And they're not having to do the dog and pony show for lack of, I'm not being disrespectful, but obviously NFL teams, Major League Baseball teams, whatever, they're running a business with the bottom line.
Right. And they don't have other sports.
You're telling colleges, hey, we want you to run this business. And the collective bargaining would mean healthcare and all of those things.
Yeah.
We want you to do all these things. Hey, and also, while you're at it, you do have to keep doing all these other sports that don't make any money.
Yeah.
But in fact, lose a lot of money.
And so to the point when you looked at, there was, I don't remember who did it. I saw the tweet. It may have been Chase tweeted it. Maybe, I don't know, but it showed how much the evaluation of the teams are now, the university athletic departments. Did you see that? Like Texas, it was Texas A&M was like when the $1 or $2 billion. The freaking owners have 10 times your money.
Yeah.
And we're in that system where we're doing that. And so for me, if you all you had to do is because let's say you go in the portal, you come to Ole Miss or you go to Auburn or Alabama or whatever, and you're not happy and you go in the portal. Okay. Well, guess what? Georgia's not paying you an extraordinary amount of money for you to come sit. Agree?
Sure.
Okay. So what happens is you'll bring it back to reality, bring the market back to reality.
The problem is, and I agree with you, the problem is the courts don't. So far, courts throw this out every time, and they side on behalf of the player.
Because of the federal funding involved in state institutions, which is why I've said from the jump, if you break off, okay, in your own separate entity, for profit, okay, like the NFL or whatever, I think the profit-producing sports should break off. That's football, men's basketball.
Yeah.
Should break off and have their own separate organizations, and you let the NCAA, which has been about amateur sports forever, you let them run the non-profit producing sports. I joke all the time. You've heard me say this 87 times, but this is what I mean by it. There's a reason that they want to call it revenue sharing and not profit sharing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
The people who receive revenue should only be from the profit producing sports. I'm sorry, but that's the real world. If I had Quick U and I had a section over here that's losing $7 to $9 million a year, I'm not going to give them a Christmas bonus. Agree?
Probably not.
You follow what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
That's what college athletics is right now.
That's what happened to Clark Griswold.
That's it. That's why he didn't get his pool. But like, if you look at if you're running a business and you have a wing or a department or a side, whatever you want to call it, a side wing of your business that's losing money every year, you're not going to pay them Christmas bonuses. You're either going to cut it out, you're going to fire them, or you're going to cut the cost down. I mean, that's what you're going to do. So we've made this about a business, and that's fine. If that's what everybody wants to do, great. But then let them run it like a business. So that's kind of the shit show that we're in right now. Is we can't figure out. We're wanting the way that we're doing right now in the NCAA and collegiate athletics in general is we're trying to create a utopian society that just can't exist, and so they keep putting nuggets and pieces without fixing the problem. It's like the little boy, the dike boy that's the holes in the dam. You just stick one hole in the dam here, and then the water comes out rushing here. Then you go here. It's like you can't, we do one portal window, but we don't fix the calendar. All right, we're going to fix the calendar, but we're going to keep signing days the way they are. Like you keep trying to just fix the problem. There are hundreds, probably thousands of people that know the answers to this. The problem is the people who are making the actual decisions have never broken a huddle in their life. They don't know. They don't understand it. It'd be like me trying to be the head of heart surgery. Okay. I mean, I've watched ER on TV, but I can't fix you. You know what I mean?
That would go badly.
But you can get my drum. That's how people in the business feel.
Yeah.
That's truly how the people in the business. I could read 800 texts that say the decision makers. They're up that. I mean, this is from inside the building. A lot of people in college athletics know how to fix the problem, and a lot of people in administrations, but the actual people putting the policies in place and making the changes, they don't understand that, hey, when we change this, they don't understand that the downfield effects of the decisions that they're making. And that's why we're in the shit show that we're in right now. How about that?
How about that?
Neal, do you know what else happens when you're in a shit show? When you don't feel well, do you know what you need to do?
You should call Prime.
If you're serious about your health, but you don't have time for the doctor's visits or confusing lab reports, listen up. Prime is a modern at-home lab testing kit that puts you in control. That's right. You can order your kit at getprime.com. That's GETPRYM.com. And you can collect your sample from home in just a few minutes and get clear, personalized results right to your private dashboard. No needles, no waiting rooms, no hassles. Doesn't mean if you need to check your hormone levels, your energy levels, or your metabolism, or just your overall wellness. Go to GetPrime, GetPrym.com, and get the kit that describes your need. And don't forget, when you go and you check out, put in the promo code MPW. What's that going to get you? 20% off of your order. So put in MPW at checkout and get 20% off of your first order. So here's the deal. I also did it myself. Love it. Took less than 24 hours. Got my results back. Got me hooked up. We'll be getting ready, locked and loaded. So go to getprime.com. We're also brought to you by the official paint and body shop of McCready and Siskey. Who is that? That's Thompson's Paint and Body Shop, located right there in the heart of Saraland, Alabama. Right there, exit 13, I-65, right there. You can go to, check this out. You can go
hey, by the way, happy belated birthday to Don Thompson.
How about that?
Birthday was 5 days ago.
I know. By the way, I don't want to get in his business. Don's got a neat find I'll tell you about afterwards. It was probably one of the coolest things this weekend. I'll tell you right after this.
Okay.
I don't want to get in his business. But shout out to Don, Matthew, and Don Jr., all the folks over at Thompson's Paint and Body Shop. For 35 years, the Thompson family has been fixing up cars with quality and a personalized touch that you just won't find in the big chain shops. So while corporate guys are chasing numbers, the Thompsons are focused on what really matters, taking care of their neighbors one repair at a time. So if your car needs a little tender loving care, skip the corporate chaos and come see the folks at Thompson's Paint and Body Shop. You can check them out at thompsonsbodyshop.com. You can check them out on Facebook or give them a call at area code 251-675-0884. That's 251-675-0884. Where Thompson's family body shop going to take care of your family just like it's their family. How about that?
How about that? And we are brought to you all the time. Each and every single show. Man, my computer does not like me today. By our friends at Rain Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams of natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes. No sugar at all.
I'm ready to go, too. Got that sour gummy worm in me today. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, no sugar. So it's got all the things that you need to get your mind right, as you say.
Get your mind right.
You can learn more about them on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel. So for Tyler, I'm not really sure what our schedule is the rest of the week.
We'll figure it out.
We'll let you know. But that's it. I don't know. So until next time, take care.